you all my personal dreams.
We are on We're Married, and I am your host, Ernee Peppers. And today I have an amazing couple who has been married for 23 years, and they're right now, and they live in Kentucky. I want to introduce to you Kim and Phil Mitzer. How are you guys?
We're good.
Beautiful, beautiful. You guys said good. So Phil, I don't know if you could top that, baby.
No way. Ditto. How about that?
That's always a good one. Ditto. Phil, tell us a little bit about yourself, baby.
I am also a graduate from the University of Kentucky. I graduated in 1989. I worked for the Kmart Corporation for a little while. Then I moved to Louisville, Kentucky, where I met Kim, and we've been together now for almost 25 years, including the time that we dated. And we had our son, and we have spent our life raising him. We've been very dedicated to him. And now we're looking forward to our next chapter of being, into retirement and watching him develop his family and his life while we enjoy the riches of all of our hard work.
Yes. Oh, gosh, you did well. Are you ready to be grandparents yet?
No. No, he's not either. He's not racing down any aisles. You
ain't ready yet? Oh, wow. Because you guys got to enjoy you guys now.
Right.
Right. Nice. So you said, Phil, that you met Kim in Kentucky, in your Kentucky University.
Actually, I met her in Louisville after graduation.
Oh, after graduation. Yeah. Where did you meet?
We met through an agency, believe it or not, before the days of online, before smartphones, before the internet even. We actually went to a brick and mortar office and took some compatibility tests, and we ended up matching. And on our first date, we realized that my aunt that was a school teacher had tried to fix us up on a blind date prior to moving to this agency. So we felt that God had crossed our paths at UK, had crossed our paths through family, and we finally made the intersection and the matchup on our own through this agency.
Yes. So you know what? It was no lie, because 25 years later, look.
There we are.
Yes. So I guess Auntie was just ecstatic that y'all got together, huh?
She couldn't believe it. She said, what are the odds of that? I said, not good.
Wow, that's beautiful. And see, back then, I didn't even know they had dating sites. I mean, well, it wasn't a site, dating offices.
Yeah, they did.
I didn't know that. So this is nothing new. This stuff that these kids are doing, it's nothing new.
No.
Oh.
It's just new that you can do it on your phone.
Exactly. Yes. And you can look at each other, picture and all that stuff. But before, you had to go to the office to look at it, to find her, right?
Right. Well, they match you up.
In it.
Yeah, they match you up, and then you get a phone call, and then they say meet somewhere out in a public place. And our first phone call went for almost 2 hours. And we thought, yeah, this is going to work out.
Really? Okay, I'm going to ask you a question that you may not remember. What did Kim have on?
The first time that I met her?
First time you met. What did she have on, and where did you guys meet?
She had on a sweater and a really nice pair of looking blue jeans, and I met her at her front door. Even though that we were supposed to meet out in a public place, she told me to come to her house and pick her up proper.
I'm from Kentucky. I didn't know that.
Lady. That's when ladies get picked up at the door, honey. And I have Tammy and Skip Abel here, an amazing couple that are going to introduce themselves. Tell us where you're from and what do you do for a living?
I'm Tammy Abels, and we are from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
My name's Skip Abels, and we live here in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
And what do you guys do?
We own a small heating and air company.
Heating and air company?
Yes,
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
yes, air tech sheet metal.
Okay, so you guys work together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, we're going to get into that later because there's a lot of couples that want to know how is it that people can see each other all day long and work together and see how they get along. We're going to get in that later. All right.
Sounds
But
good.
how long have you guys been married?
31 years.
Who?
31 years. 31 years.
31?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. You guys
Yes.
look amazing. You're happy. Tammy, you're just as pretty as ever.
Thank you.
Wow. Skip.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you meet Tammy?
Used to be at I used to work for a rental company, and I was an account manager.
And I called in to buy some furniture. And so we met over the phone. I told him he had a sexy voice. And that's how it started.
Oh, does he still have a sexy voice?
Yes. Yeah, 'cause he's got that deep voice. So I immediately had something for him.
Okay, so Skip, what did you think of Tammy when you first met?
Yeah, very mature for her age. Yeah,
And
very
that's
mature.
what you were looking at.
At the time, yes.
Did she pique your interest in anyhow, or was it that Tammy moved in first? What happened? Do you remember? I know it was 31 years ago. Do you remember?
Yeah. When I called down there and I told him that he had a sexy voice, he said that he was just telling his friend the same thing about me. And so we actually met that same day. It's up on Missionary Ridge. It's a place that's here. And we met up there for kind of like lunch, so to speak. Okay. And that's where it started.
Wow. Did you ever get what you went there for?
Definitely. I don't know if I'll say that on here or not.
She went shopping for something else and picked up something else.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, we definitely did.
So that's amazing. So I guess would that be your guys' first date?
Yes.
That was your first date. Wow, that's so nice. With my wonderful, they are now became my BFFs. They are Lori and Lou. Hey, Lori and Lou, say hello to the people.
Hello, people. How are you?
Okay, so now, guys, we're going to talk about married life. We're going to talk about how is it, why they should do it. But first, I want to hear a little bit of background about you guys. Tell the family what you do, where you're from, and how long you guys have been together.
Good morning.
Okay, so Lou and I have been together for a little bit over 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we met on an online dating app, and it was love at first sight. I mean, I know it's a cliche, but that's what happened. We met on the first date. That was it. We've been together ever since. And it's just been great. We're both from Brooklyn, New York. So we have a lot of the values in common, and we have fun together. We are soulmates in a sense, another cliche, but it's true.
We're very compatible.
Okay.
So we like to hang out with each other. Like every night I make a fire downstairs and I cook dinner, and and then she likes to watch TV a lot, and then she incorporates me into television and tries to get shows that I like, which I'm very limited compared to her. She's more open to different shows. If the shows aren't moving quick enough, I get bored right away. But other than that,
Me too.
Yeah, exactly. So other than that, we really enjoy each other's company, which is like the first part of being very successful in a relationship. You want to be, you don't. It's like it's not there. You're not there for any particular reason.
Mm-hmm.
The company.
Okay. So now, Lori, you mentioned that you guys were compatible. I did a show on compatible or compete. Okay, or you're basically putting up. Explain your compatibility.
our compatibility basically is that we like to do the same things. Our energy and our spirit and our soul seem to match. So we're open to doing things for each other, even if we don't exactly like that. And, he'll do something that I'm not, he'll do something for me that he's not crazy about, like watch a really, indie movie or something. And I'll do something with him that I'm not necessarily in love with, but you do it. Is that you do it just to compromise. And the compatibility, I think compatibility is kind of natural or authentic. I think it's hard to describe. Either you have it or you don't have it.
Is this Lou? Do you think that compatibility can be taught?
No.
I was testing you, man. Because, like Laurie said, it's either you have it or you don't.
Yes.
It's either you like me or you don't, because you're going to find out later on if you like me or not.
Okay.
Correct. That's the
Okay.
problem.
So
You
this
love
is
like them. I mean, you can love someone and not like them.
yes, but that's not in a relationship.
Right.
Right.
That's your
No,
family.
you talk about that maybe like your brother or your sister.
Right.
Right.
That is definitely not in a relationship.
No.
Correct.
Definitely.
Now let's talk about this. Since you guys are compatible, Lou, you guys met on a what you said meetup. What was the name of you guys?
Met on an online dating app.
The dating app.
Yeah.
Now, what was it that piqued your interest about dating Laurie?
Okay, Laurie, I liked her picture that was online. She looked like Mariah Carey, and she looked more like actually her than herself. And then after I met her, she looked like Laurie, but
Okay, all right.
Mariah Carey. And like interesting, and she had these beautiful shots, and it was one of these apps where you swipe one way, and I liked her, and then she has to swipe also to be liked together.
People always want to know my secret for being energized throughout my busy day. But little do they know, my secret comes in this little convenient pack right here. And guess what? It's inexpensive, and it doesn't give me the jitters like most coffee brands do.
2 minutes, Miss Peppers.
Thank you. Look, I gotta go. I can't promise you a fabulous day, but I sure can promise you that you'll have a great cup of coffee. Just tell a Pepper Cafe that I sent you.
Where did you guys go on a date?
Our first date was at Szechuan Gardens, and then we went to a coffee shop, and then to see Mr. Holland's Opus.
Yep, Mr. Holland's Opus.
Mr. Who?
Mr. Holland's Opus. It was a movie about a band director.
Really? I don't remember that. I was still little by then. Not that little. I was no. 89, I had already had my son.
Yeah, it had Richard Dreyfuss in it.
Huh?
Yeah, it had Richard Dreyfuss in it, and he was a band director. Yep.
Okay. All right. That should be. Did you enjoy the movie?
Very much. Yeah.
Okay.
He has a brother who's a band director, so that.
Oh, that's why. Oh my God. So what did your brother think about Kim?
The first time he met her, he really liked her. The first time that they met, it really, kind of got together. We were going down to Gulf Shores, Alabama, and Kim went with me, and we all got to know one another over a week's stay. And he looked at me and said, "You got to keep her."
Kim, did you know that his brother said that?
Yeah, Paul and I got along really well together because we're both teachers. So.
Oh, okay, nice. So now, Phil, when you met, what's your sister name?
Susan.
Susan. When you met Susan, did Susan like him and said, "Go ahead, he's the one"?
She wasn't. No, my grandmother was definitely on board.
Okay.
Sus was kind of
standoffish,
reserving judgment, I guess.
Yes. She was gonna wait and see how you do, Phil.
Yeah.
But that was okay. Now let's go on to your best friends. Edwin, what did Edwin think about Kim?
That's funny. We were just talking about that this morning. Edwin and I have been friends since for a very long time. He had moved all around the United States, and he had just moved to Cincinnati, Ohio from Charlotte, North Carolina. So Kim and I drove up, And he had never known me to have but zero girlfriends that I would introduce him to after college. So he knew that Kim had to be pretty special. And it was funny because after we spent the day with them, that was in about this time of year, about in October, we saw them again at Christmas time, and they had a gift for us, and they said, "We know you two are going to make it because you are both just gushing."
Wow, look at that. Kim,
yeah.
it's just pouring out your ears, girl. It's in your pores. You have Phil all in your pores, girl. That's beautiful. I like when I see people like that. I love that. So, Kim, what did your parents feel about when they met Phil?
They were very happy to meet him, and he's very faithful, and I was not really attending church like I should at that time. And so they were very appreciative that that we were going to pursue that together.
Oh, okay. So, Phil, you wasn't into the church at that particular time?
No, Phil was. I wasn't.
Phil was. Oh, you were the one. You were the bad girl.
I just wasn't going like I should.
Right. Crap. Did you tell Scott about her? What'd you tell Scott about Tammy?
I told Scott that I'd met someone that I probably was going to ask her to marry me. I knew that kind of got off the jump.
Wow, Tammy, you didn't have a clue.
Not at the time, no. I didn't. Skip's been one of those type that was kind of kept his feelings to himself, and so I didn't really know exactly his feelings.
Right. That's good. So did Scott think that you were serious, Skip?
Yeah, he thought I was crazy at the same time too, though.
Because if anybody knew you, Skip knew you. I mean, Scott knew you, right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Like, not another one.
Yeah.
All right.
My mother had really a fit over Tammy. She really fell in love with her herself. She told me she was a keeper.
Look at that. You know what? Mom sometimes always knows best, right? Mom knows best, and she damn sure hit it on the head, didn't she?
Yes,
so I guess that would have been my next problem. My next question: did the family have any problems? Accepting neither one of you. Was there a problem?
Not on his side of the family with me. On my side of the family, there was, yeah.
Right.
Him being older, and because there's a year difference between us, and him being older, and he had been married a couple of different times before me, so I was his third marriage. So there was a little bit there.
Okay, now I'm getting it. Now I can understand what happened on your end. On your end, now I get it. Okay, now would you mind me asking how much older?
He's 8 years older than me.
Oh, that's not much.
It's not a big deal now, but at that time, it was a big deal.
Right, if you were 18 and then he was, okay.
Right, yeah, that's
after a while, it don't even make a difference, right?
No.
Not today.
No, it didn't make a difference after. I mean, it didn't really matter anyway what anybody thought, because we were going to do what we wanted to do anyway.
There you go. Now, Scott, Skip, how did you ask Tammy to marry you?
Well, we actually went to a movie, and after the movie, we went out, sat down and ate dinner, and I just asked her if she wanted to be my wife.
Were you nervous?
Very much, yes, ma'am.
Did you focus on the movie? Wow, that's nice. Yeah. Now, what makes Tammy different than the rest of the girls, than the rest of the gals?
Oh, man, where do I start? She's just a lot sweeter person, and she's a good person in general.
Oh, that's nice. Wow, were there children from your previous marriages?
Yes, ma'am, I did have two.
You had two. Okay, yeah. Good. Okay. And you and Tammy have how many?
Four.
You have four together? Four together. Ooh. They all combined, they all lived together?
They did whenever they were all at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
Oh wow. It was just whenever they were all teenagers, it was literally costing us close to $400 to $500 a week in groceries because they were all, you got 3 boys and 3 girls.
Nice
and
stuff.
we're all in the house together, and it was, we have a big house, but even then the kids was kind of trip over each other, It was just
I wanted to be in one room.
yeah.
In one room.
Yeah. I mean, it was a mess, especially whenever they like going on dates, because it had got to where the younger girls would want to go with the older girl. And so, they would be saying they was going here and there, and they really wasn't. But Skip, for some reason, he always knew what was up. I was very naive on things. Skip knew exactly what was going on.
Skip,
and
you were watching them, huh?
Yeah.
That's for sure.
They even talk about it now. They talk about how Daddy always knew what was going on.
And how did you miss out? Normally we're on it. The mothers know.
I just trusted what they told me. That's the way I was. If they told me they was going to a friend's house, I didn't have any reason not to believe them. They hadn't done anything, and at that time, I didn't know. I just trusted what they told me. They said, Mom, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to the mall or whatever. And I would drop them off at the mall, and I would assume they would be staying at the mall.
Did you have to go back and get them?
Yeah, they would be back there. They would be back when something picked up. So I wouldn't know that they had left or done anything. I didn't know. That was teenagers, though.
Yeah. But your household sounded like it was fun, though.
Yeah, it was. They all fought a lot sometimes, but that was normal.
Yes, of course. Now, what did they bless you guys with? Grandkids? What you got?
Yes. Yeah, we got 6 grandchildren.
6 grandchildren. You see that? They weren't at the mall.
That's right. That's the truth.
Oh, Lord.
They weren't at the mall.
No, they weren't.
That's amazing. How do you feel as grandparents now that you've been through the parenting? How's grandparents? How is that?
It is amazing.
It is. It's amazing. It's so much different than your child.
So who swiped first?
I think I did.
You know what? I don't really know the technology.
Okay.
They don't tell us, but what it is that if I go through pictures and I stop swiping right, he had to already swiped or something like that. We're not exactly sure of the technology of it.
Okay, so it sounds like he did swipe first in order for you to get a picture.
I think I swiped first,
Yeah.
and then we spoke on the phone.
Yeah.
I did a spin class at one of my clubs, and it was early in the morning. Actually, it was like lunchtime, and Lori was in a class for her life coaching, and she took out some time, and we spoke on the phone for like a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Laura, we'll talk more about you being a life coach. Is that right? We're going to talk about that.
Sure. Love it.
So, Lou, where was your first date with Lori?
Oh, we went to a place in Norwalk called Washington Prime. It's a steakhouse. And I was living in Westchester County, so I had to drive up, and Lori lived in the town, not too far away, maybe a couple of miles away. And we just met for drinks, and I ran out into the parking lot. I saw her parking, and I gave her a big hug. And I guess it kicked off right there. It was like I showed warmth, and she was very receptive towards it. And then we went inside, and we just started talking about different things and talk about food, because I had a restaurant right before that. And then Lori's a big foodie. Wow. Yeah, so it was really cool that we had something in common about the food and up and all that good stuff.
All right, that's nice. Lori, did you like the date?
I love the date, and I thought he was very chivalrous to come out and meet me in the parking lot. And he walked me into the restaurant. We sat down, and I would say Lou did 90% of the talking, which was really because I love to hear what, kind of hear what someone has to say. And they say you learn about someone in the first 11 minutes, because that's when they tell you the truth.
In 11 minutes, Lori?
Yeah, I'll talk to you about that. That's a really cool thing. I'll tell you about that later but it is.
I figured that'll be the first 11 minutes of lies.
Yeah, Cambridge.
No,
Cambridge did a study on this. I mean, it's very well documented that when you meet someone for the first time, the first 11 minutes is when they're it's not 12 minutes, it's not 10, it's not 11 and a half. It's 11 minutes that they're gonna tell you their truth. Anyway, so I enjoyed listening to him. And so I figured, well, how am I gonna get into the conversation? What can I do? So I asked him if I could give him a kiss.
Okay.
And he was a little bit taken back, like, ooh, she's in her neighborhood and there's people around. And so I said, listen, I don't really care what people think. That's not my MO. I'm pretty much do what I feel is right for me. So I gave him a kiss, just like a mwah, not anything.
No, more than that.
It wasn't. We have that difference of opinion.
She was drunk. I don't think she remembered it.
We were both feeling good. And so what happened was that was it. And then we went into the parking lot. I started, we listened to music and we said we have to do it again. So basically he asked me out the next day for lunch and then the rest is history.
Yep.
So Lou, you went home.
Yes.
What's she on your mind?
I said, I liked her. I wasn't so sure, just taking my time. I came out of a long relationship for 8 years.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, and I came out of that relationship, and so I just wanted to be like, let's see what's going on. Yeah, because it was and stuff like that. But yeah, it was 8 years, and I was maybe I was out maybe a couple of months from that relationship. So I was like, talking with people, not so much really dating, just like being into myself, like going more, trying to work more, that kind of stuff.
Right. Okay. Now, what's the difference between Lori and your previous relationship? What's the difference?
The previous relationship was I was a caretaker.
Oh.
More of a caretaker. I do that with Lori also, but Lori's also can stand on her own feet also.
Nice.
Bob, was more of a was easy to get along with, but she wanted me in the house locked in. She didn't want to really go out much, and she did, but I couldn't leave the house. It was more like she would, maybe jealousy. She would stay and want to watch television or stay with me most of the time, do everything I wanted to do. I used to go to track and race my car. She had to be in the car. It was always because she didn't have a network of friends. That's what happened. I became the friend and everything else. So
was that one of your deal breaker with Lori? She had to have her own life?
Well, I respected that. She didn't have to have it, but I was happy she did have it.
Yes.
I thought that was fantastic until today. So I'll tell you, I'm going out with XYZ or Fern or whichever, and they said, great, have a great time.
That's the way it's supposed to be.